Hi, this video is intended to show you what to expect when you first plug your iPad to GMA into the Bose headset jack in your airplane. For this demo, I'm using my text fixture, which has a 6-pin LEMO jack, just like the Bose headset jack in your airplane. It's powered externally with a 28-volt supply, and it also has an audio jack, so I can plug a speaker into it or a set of earbuds. That way I can hear the output of the iPad to GMA as it drives the microphone input of the headset. There's a 500 ohm load in this box to emulate what's on a GMA 340. Anyway, when you first plug the iPad to GMA into the headset jack, the LED will go solid. There's a blue LED that goes solid. That indicates that power has been applied to the unit. If you look at the other side, there's an activity light on the Raspberry Pi computer. It flickers, indicating that it's busy doing stuff, and what it's doing is booting. Once the computer is booted, my application automatically starts, and the first thing it does is turn off the LED, and then it turns it on. If you've never connected before, you'll see a rapidly flashing blue light. Okay, once you're up and you have this, you're in discovery mode, as indicated by the flashing blue light. On the iPad, you can do the connection for the first time. You go into settings, then Bluetooth, make sure Bluetooth's on. And then when you click on Bluetooth, it may take a few seconds, but iPad to GMA will show up under other devices. You just click on that to do the connection. And it'll take a few seconds and then it'll connect. And then shortly after that, the flashing blue light will go to solid blue. If I were to disconnect, like what would happen if you powered off and on the iPad to GMA, or if I just click on this little info sign and do disconnect, it'll disconnect and the iPad to GMA will flash slowly blinking. That means he's trying to do a connect back to the iPad again. So he's sitting there, he's remembered that the iPad connected to him once. He's got his MAC address and he finally makes connection again. After the blue light goes solid, at this point in time you'll start hearing all the audio that you would normally hear on your iPad. You'd hear them both as the microphone input from whatever Bose jack you used in your plane, or if you've plugged in directly to the stereo output of the iPad to GMA, you'll hear it there too. At this point in time, if you were to reboot, we'll just unplug it here and replug it back in. And again, the light will go solid blue, indicating it's got power. The iPad to GMA, the Raspberry Pi will boot. And this time, the application will turn the LED off, but instead of turning on fast blinking, it'll start slow blinking as it tries to connect back to the iPad, and then it'll blink a few times until it actually makes the connection. And then it's connected, indicated by a solid blue, and you see over on the iPad it changed to connected as well. So it'll always do that from now on. Every time the iPad's on and within Bluetooth range of the iPad to GMA and the iPad to GMA is on, it'll connect. If you ever want to connect to a different device, you need to push and hold until you see the blue light start flashing rapidly. In this case, you'll see it disconnected on the iPad, and you can also forget this device on this iPad. And if we were to turn this, the iPad himself gets a little confused about this device being cached once before. So if I turn his Bluetooth off and back on again, he'll again show up underneath the other devices where you can do it over again. There it is. When we're ready to shut down the device, I mean, you could pull the power, which is what you're normally going to do in the airplane. You probably just shut off the avionics master and the power goes off. The other way you can shut it off is use a little button. If you tap once briefly and then tap and hold until the LED goes off, and that initiates a power down. You can see the activity light is still green, and then when it quits flashing, the clean shutdown has succeeded, in which case the blue light will go solid again.